The Will You Grow Show goes live Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. To receive notifications, click the subscribe button beneath this video, or visit YouTube's Will You Grow channel to see more shows and videos. And now, here's Will You founder Angelique Medow with this week's Will You Grow Show.
Welcome to the Will You Grow Show. How are you? I'm Angelique, and I'm here to ignite your inner courage to release yourself from limitations. I'm the founder of Will You and WillYouGrow.com, an inspirational multimedia company that provides personal growth and joy through education, conversations, and adventures. I'm in the studio with our audio aficionado, Ben.
Him.
And our video Santa, Neil.
Me.
They make this show happen while sharing their humor and commentary. This is the 11th in a series of shows about self-care. Today we're taking on the big topics of heroes, villains, wars, and self-care as the way to peace within us and the world. We hope you're having a great day, and we congratulate you for heroically surviving your struggles and waking up to this brand new day of your life. We are all heroes in our own way. We're saving ourselves from inner dramas and do our best to save our kids, families, and strangers from pain and suffering whenever we can. Heroes are the people we love to love. They're like angels that swoop in to help make things better. On the other hand, villains are people we love to hate. They're like the little devils of discontent that fill our life with drama. So let's begin by talking about our favorite heroes, our favorite villains, and why they're our favorite. Share your favorite heroes and villains in the comments section while Neil and Ben and I discuss them here in the studio. Just a note, if y'all write in the live chat, it disappears immediately after the show. If you write in the comments section, it'll live and stay there so future viewers and all of us can see your comments anytime now and in the future. Okay, let's talk about our favorite heroes and villains and why they are our favorite. Let's start with Ben.
All right, so I had to think
It's me, I know. I'm just kidding.
long and hard about this. My hero, I went with a musician that
It's not surprising.
is really near and dear to my heart, and probably a lot of guitar players. Wes Montgomery. So he's
I don't know Westman.
50s,
Wow.
60s, big jazz guy. He's got like a few Beatles cover EPs, but anything that he played on is phenomenal. And played with a few jazz bands, trios and quartets and stuff with other people whose names you might recognize. But he's a family guy and born in Indianapolis and died there and turned down a few big tours that would have taken him farther and paid a lot more money, but he wanted to stay with his wife and his kids. So, yeah, he just sort of was always doing his own thing, didn't really compromise on what he wanted to accomplish, with his wife and stuff, but was one of the best, just shredding jazz guitar back in the day.
Yeah, look him up now.
So yeah, look up Wes Montgomery. He's got great playing on everything. And for villains, there's a few. I was leaning towards fictional. That's just more fun for me. So I think I'm gonna have to go with sort of another maybe obscure one. I think it's from graphic novels or comics called The Boys that are now like a big Amazon Prime show.
Yeah.
So Homelander is sort of like their
Superman.
evil version of Superman, basically. Yeah. So he was basically grown in a lab and like designed to be the perfect superhero by this chemical company. So he doesn't have the normal human development of having parents and growing up with other kids his age and playing with them and going to school and stuff. So even though he's almost omnipotent and invincible, at least, you can't kill him with any conventional weaponry. He's just a miserable person and really underdeveloped. But you can't blame him because it's not like he asked to be grown in a tube. So
His ego gets the best of him.
oh yeah, he's got a big ego
And his
and some
personality.
weird mother issues. So it's fun to explore,
Yeah.
fun to see.
Mm.
How about you, Neil?
A hero. I had to think about it too. There's just so many. You can go reality or fictional, but I'll choose fictional for now. And fictional, my favorite hero is James Bond.
Ooh.
James Bond. And it's not because of the bad things, the misogynistic and all that stuff. It's such a Hollywood type hero. He never gets shot. He's almost a cartoon, almost. He saves the day at the very split second. He's just suave and debonair when he does it. He's every little boy wants to be James Bond. And every grown man kind of wants to be James Bond. He wants to sip martinis with Monty Penny. And go see Goldfinger. Villain-wise, that one's tough. I'll give you the geek answer. Darth Vader.
Mm.
I'm just a child of Star Wars. And being 7 when that movie came out, that was my first real glimpse at a movie villain, really, that I could comprehend and understand. And yeah, you hated him in the first one, but then, as they progressed, you kind of got why he turned and how he turned. He was turned through charm, through evil charm, by a politician. Well, it's a different story there. But then he comes back, because there's still humanity left in him. So he's a villain, but then his human side comes back. He saves his son. I'm not giving anything away. If you haven't seen it, too bad. He saves his son, and his humanity comes back, and his spirit lives on in his true human form. So those are my heroes and villains.
Nice.
And
nice.
you?
For me, I had a tie on the heroes between Maya Angelou and Bob Marley.
Oh!
Those are strong.
Oh!
I know. The heart and soul of these people is phenomenal and something for us all to look up to, look forward to becoming.
Definitely.
Beings who absolutely blossomed and bloomed their soul in their lifetime and inspired millions. Awesome.
Yes.
And the villain would be Cruella Deville.
There you go.
Because who can kill puppies? I mean, come on.
And do it in style.
She was charming about being who she was, that's for sure. But still, sing it for us. But isn't it interesting that both with the heroes and the villains, they both have a beautiful source, their inside of who they are. It's just how they developed that we can see the manifestation of moving towards seeing ourselves as the villain or seeing ourselves as the hero when the truth of who we are at the inside is really the same. So let's move on and talk a little bit more in depth about this. So although it may seem obvious, heroes are often defined as heroes because of what they do for everybody else and what they don't do for themselves. Heroes are willing to risk their life and save a person or an animal from a deadly situation, albeit war, abuse, or an oncoming car. Heroes captivate our hearts on the news and in movies since they do so much to make our world a better place. We need heroes in our world as it is right now. However, I'm now going to present for your consideration why heroism is the downfall to peace and happiness. Reason number 1. Our need for heroism causes the hero to suffer and wait to be saved. Let's talk about that for a second. So let's look at an example that many of us can relate to. Let's look at dating, for example. Princes may be heroic in their attempt to save a princess from suffering by giving to her and not to himself, by attempting to make her happy. Then the prince waits for the princess to give to him, and not to herself, to make him happy. Or vice versa. Genders are not applicable here. In this example, both the prince and the princess may suffer before they meet, while they wait to meet each other. Then there may be a momentary period of happiness where both people give up who they are for the other person's happiness. And then in the long run, both the prince and the princess may suffer because neither of them are being who they are or who they want to be. They are acting and doing what their partner wants, not what they want to do or be as an individual. So once again, the prince and the princess are waiting to be saved from always doing what the other person wants to do, while they grow in resentment towards each other for having to do what the other person wants to do. This is the first reason why heroism is the downfall to peace and happiness. It causes us to wait and to suffer and give up who it is that our soul is and is meant to be. Number 2, the second reason heroism is the downfall to peace and happiness is because our need for heroes creates a need for villains. How so, you might ask? Well, we need villains because heroes need someone to fight, and villains need heroes to fight. This need for opposites is called polarity. Oxford Dictionaries defines that, quote, "The law of polarity is the principle that everything has two poles, good and evil, love and hate, attraction and disconnection." Think of the north and south poles on a globe or on a battery with its negative and positive terminals. Everything in the universe has an opposite, unquote. This is the second reason why heroism is the downfall to peace and happiness. Heroism causes strife, drama, and war by requiring that this world be just as full of villains as it is of heroes, to justify the existence of each other. Polarity creates overall balance in an imbalanced world. In the grand scheme of things, heroes balance and oppose villains. Light balances and opposes dark. Good balances and opposes evil. Victims balance and oppose perpetrators. Each identity, the hero and the villain, need each other to justify their own character. For example, if I am a heroine here to save the world, which I am not, then I need a villain to be messing with the minds of humanity so I can save them. And other people may buy into the belief that they need to be saved. All this may, in this example, falsely empower me to identify myself as a heroic character, causing me to falsely believe that I am a heroine. Now, although I may, in fact, be helpful, I cannot save anyone. I can only be love. Soak that in. We can only be love. I can only be an example of love and peace, and my example may remind other people of the love and peace that they are when they're not playing a hero or a villain. Without polarity, hero and villain, we are one, unified and peace-filled, like the examples we talked about earlier within our own favorite heroes and villains. What they were at the core of who they are is the same. How it manifests as hero or villain, that's where it's different. To eliminate war, we don't need more heroes and villains. So what do we need? We need balance and peace within ourselves and in our world. Balance is peace. We know this by experience. Reflect back on a time when you were or are happy. You may have felt balanced, easygoing, accepting of others, yourself, and life. And your own inner balance and peace radiated out unto others and the world. Everything in the world felt brighter, possible, and hopeful, right? And this peace outside of you started within you, with you feeling inner peace and balance. Balance doesn't take sides. Balance doesn't take the side of the hero or the villain. Balance sees the validity in both sides by recognizing that who that being is at the core of who they are is the same. It just manifests differently as a hero or a villain. Balance seeks understanding, agreement, and movement. To be balanced and promote peace, each of us need to make peace with our own inner hero, villain, or our own inner victim. We need to become friends with the needs of both our hero, villain, and victim, so we can make wise, joyful, and peaceful choices. That means inner work, introspection, self-help, and self-care. But how many of us do that? It may seem easier instead to blame other people, governments, countries, pandemics, politicians, and other issues as being the source of wars and the disturbance of our own peace. So let's begin our introspection today for greater inner peace and awareness. Let's begin with a question. Do you recognize your inner hero and villain or victim? How do you even do that? We can do that by beginning to recognize our hero and villain by getting to know what we think and feel. Because our thoughts and feelings can often battle and be a living war within us. For example, the hero in us may be fighting to be healthy and eat an apple, when the villain in us wants to be immersed in pleasure and eat an entire chocolate cake. Maybe our hero wants to be celibate and our villain wants the nightlife to be our whole life. Each of us are our own hero and villain, which express themselves through thoughts and feelings. Each of us are waging our own war with ourself. And we cannot expect our world to change and be peaceful without getting to know and understanding where we are taking sides and waging war within ourselves. We can't expect peace within by killing, bombing, hating, cajoling, or disrespecting others or ourselves. Just like we can't expect ourselves to grow personally and become more aware by trying to kill our inner victim by hating ourselves, judging ourselves, criticizing ourselves, or denying that our inner hero and villain exist. As we learn to know and include and care for our whole self, our own inner hero and villain, we create and emanate peace. As within, so without. When we are at war with ourselves, that war within will spill over onto our loved ones, our household, our work, and our world. We cannot talk and teach peace to others when we can't make peace with ourselves. So curiously, I'm going to ask you another question. Do any of us heroically sacrifice, or do we lovingly care? There's a big difference. Do we heroically sacrifice, or do we lovingly care? We may have been raised to believe that sacrifice is a form of care and love. If this is us, we mistakenly believe that if we deeply care for someone, the way we show this is to sacrifice ourselves, sacrifice our needs, sacrifice our wants, our wishes, and our dreams and our desires as a symbol or way to show someone love. However, the two worlds, sacrifice and care, and the intention from which each are born are not at all alike. So let's clear up the real meaning and intention of the words sacrifice and care. Sacrifice is transactional. We need to be careful not to trick ourselves into thinking that we care or love someone when we are actually sacrificing ourselves for them. The intention of sacrifice is to give up something or some part of ourself so that the other person will love us, pay attention to us, or notice us. This is transactional and not love. Sacrifice is done with the intention of giving something to get something. This intention may be buried in our unconscious. We may be in denial or not aware of our intention to get that's buried within our giving. For example, I've dated heroes, and as lovingly wonderful as they were, they believed that they were going to give their all for me for love. What does that mean? Well, it looked like the country song's lyrics. What do I have to do to get you to love me? These men offered to give me everything from scrubbing my toilet, washing my clothes, buying me jewelry, cars, houses, and even an island, all in the mistaken belief that they were doing all the right things to win my love. Now, I'm not saying that these things aren't great gifts, and with all due respect for their desire to give. When they offered these things in hopes of me giving them what they want to get, it was really disappointing. The truth of the matter was that there was nothing that they could do to win my love. And although I shared this truth, they didn't seem to understand or accept this, and remained in denial that their hero within had no power to save the day and no power to score their princess. As I am, I cannot, in good conscience, care or in health for myself commit to a hero, because heroes do not know real love. Heroes seek my attention and sex by sacrificing their time, their attention, and their money. Heroes mistake attention, sex, and time together as love. People can do all those things together and not love each other because they don't love themselves. For me to commit to a man, he would not be seeking something from me. He would be love and want to share that creative, joyful experience of love with me. So how can we be love instead of trying to give and get love? We can accept that love is beyond heroism. To continue with the previous example, for a man or anyone to be love, he or she has already learned to love and care for themselves for their own soul's sake. He or she knows their soul and is on their soul journey. For us to be love, we cannot seek to be loved to get love and attention. When a man or woman is love, they know, accept, care for, love, and nurture themselves. And they know that by doing this for themselves, they care, love, and support everyone and the world. By being love, we are an example. by being and behaving in loving ways. We are and represent true love for ourself and for all. And we become true love by means of introspective self-care. Heroes simply can't win love. True love will always be out of reach to the hero or heroine, and also to the villain. Although heroes and villains may give, and grasp and hope and wish and pray for love, love cannot be gotten. Love cannot be limited. Love cannot be contained, owned, or possessed. Love is. Heroes keep love at a distance from themselves. Their unwillingness to go within and release their own limitations to love makes them unable to be real love. True love is humility and awareness. As Angus Nelson, men's leadership coach, wrote in his recent post titled Real Talk, quote, "Most men don't know what they don't know, yet lack the humility and self-awareness to understand this. Most men sit in silent suffering with the anxieties and pressures they feel. Believing it to be normal, they isolate themselves," unquote. He goes on to say that, quote, "Personal identity issues almost always precede business problems," unquote. And I will add that when a man defines himself as a hero, without recognizing and accepting his worthiness and need for love and care, he creates problems not only in his overall success and health of his business, but he also creates problems for himself physically, mentally, emotionally, and relationally. So what is self-care? Self-care is love, acceptance, support, and nurturing the best of who we are at a soul level. Self-care is often misunderstood. Self-care is not just pampering ourselves with pleasures. Self-care is knowing how we feel, what we think, knowing what we need, knowing what's best for us, and providing it and or allowing it to be received by ourselves. It can seem like a lot to manage because self-care requires a keen mind, one that's willing to be clear and aware. Self-care requires an open heart, one that's willing to grow and let go of limitations. And self-care requires action on our own behalf, knowing that by caring for and loving ourselves, we are also caring for and loving others, by being an example of care and love. And this makes the world a more caring and loving place to be. So what are the results of self-care? Well, with adequate self-care, we're satisfied and successful. With abundant self-care, we are fulfilled. We are love. And love becomes an experience. True love is not giving and receiving. Rather, true love is a flow. True love is an experience of being. The healthiest thing to do if we recognize ourselves as a hero or a villain is to recognize heroism and being a villain as a limitation, not a goal. Because we were unable to identify and recognize that our heroism was actually limiting us and keeping us from real love, we might have behaved in ways that got us some attention for a while. When we know better, we can accept that our heroism and giving nature has been a way for us to try and feel loved. And when we see that that's not working, when we see that the ways we've sacrificed and made dramatic displays of affection actually keep us from the love we seek, we can accept that there is a more fulfilling experience of love, a love that has no end. So how can we morph our sacrificial hero into a being of love? We'll share those quick and sweet little secrets in 60 seconds.
If you wish you had notes for today's show topic, your wish is granted. You can receive free weekly articles emailed to you every Sunday that match the show topic. And you'll have free anytime access to all prior articles, shows, adventure videos, affirmations, personal success stories, and the latest happenings at Will You. Here's what to do. Just click Show More in the description box. Then click the link for free weekly inspiration show notes. Type in your email address, hit enter, and you're set. You'll start getting free weekly articles in your inbox every Sunday, and you'll have free anytime access to hundreds of inspirational ideas and support from Will You. Get your free show notes by clicking free weekly inspiration show notes in the description box. You can heal with words, ease anxiety, create peace, hope, and love within with these elegant new hardcover affirmations books, card decks, and journals by Angelique Medow, founder of Will You and WillYouGrow.com. Join us on tour to meet Angelique as she shares hands-on tips to inner peace and harmony by integrating the affirmations books, card decks, and journals into your health and happiness lifestyle.
I love getting to spend time with Angelique, and especially learning how to use the wonderful tools that she's created. I've been using them at home and taking the time to spend 5 minutes just to focus on whatever card I drew for the day. And it has given me some peace and space to just get calm. And then to spend some time with her today and learn even more about how to use these cards and to journal about these experiences. It's just even more fulfilling because she's such a sweet soul and makes it okay even when I feel frustration or I feel conflict. And she helps me see that this whole purpose of my life, no matter when I'm struggling or frustrated or angry or not happy and joyful and blissful, that all of that is still okay and that it's all for a reason. Using these cards, even without her with me, she'll still be there in those cards. Now that I know how best to use them and truly feel them, I have confidence that I am going to be so blessed. And I'm so grateful.
Select a tour date now to meet Angelique and fun new like-minded friends for hands-on tips to more harmony in your heart, mind, and home. Click the link in the description box for April Brunch Series in Tennessee, and we'll see you there.
Welcome back. So what can we do to morph our hero, heroine, or villain into a being of true love? Here are 3 steps. We can do 1, none, or all the steps as we choose, or find your own. Step number 1. When we feel the tug to be a hero, ask, what is my intention in helping? If we find any deeper desire to make ourselves feel better by helping others, it's time to turn our attention inward. Number 2, ask ourselves, what is my deepest need right now? Ironically, when I've done this, the urgency I felt to rescue someone else passed, and transformation occurred within me. And strangely enough, the other person often said they felt loved, even though I did not do anything directly towards them. Number 3, say, I give myself the right to fulfill my own needs every day. For me, this was so important because it required me to take action on my own behalf. In the beginning, it was easier for me to learn about what made me feel loved rather than doing what made me feel loved. I recommend starting small and then taking bigger steps. For me, that means I pace myself to stay happy and well by taking breaks in nature, by not pushing myself into such long hours that I get sick, and by doing something social at least once a week. Something that can trip us up from giving ourselves the love and care that we need is if we feel unworthy. If we recognize that we feel unworthy to receive self-care and love, we can remember and repeat our 3 affirmations from the last 10 weeks. Let's say them together. The first one is, I do matter. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
I do matter.
Number 2, I am worth knowing. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
I am worth knowing.
Number 3, I am important. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
I am important.
Thank you. Nicely said. Rather than fighting, fleeing, stuffing, or drowning ourselves to fill the void of not experiencing love, we can create a safe inner place to grow, know, and learn. By doing so, we neither look to others nor lean on them to teach us. This allows us to learn from within, rather than looking to others to tell us what's true or rebelling against others to tell us what to do. This allows us to simply share life and love with others, rather than fighting because we need something from them. When we provide self-care, we allow and give ourselves the love and care that we seek. So will you? I encourage you to know and accept your own inner hero and villain, to allow you to experience greater love. No one can do this for you. And by doing so, you'll always know that somebody cares. And that somebody is you. Let us know how applying today's concepts works for you. We enjoy hearing from you. So share that with us in the comments section. And we'd love to see you in Knoxville, Tennessee, any Sunday in April at 1 o'clock for the Will You Grow, Love, and Adventure Brunch series at Knoxville's luxury venue, Ancient Lore Village. Check out the event video next for all the delicious details. Advance tickets are required to enter the property, so take a look at the event video next and book your tickets for future fun with us every Sunday in April at 1 o'clock at Ancient Lore Village. And now I send you off, always with love. From Angelique.
Join author and guest speaker Angelique Medow for Will You Grow, Love, and Adventure, an April brunch series at Knoxville's boutique resort, Ancient Lore Village. The bountiful Sunday brunch is $35 and begins at 1 o'clock. Feast on breakfast casserole, seasonal salad, fruit skewers, biscuits and gravy, pork loin, and pecan rolls outside and under cover by a grand fireplace, radiant column heaters, and a stunning view of the blue-hued Smoky Mountains. Then get cozy for Angelique's inspirational tips to harmonize your heart and mind for everyday feelings of love and inner peace. Next, take a guided tour of the magical village. For overnight accommodations, reserve one of the 9 immaculately designed village dwellings to reconnect with nature, yourself, and your loved ones as you explore the village's 67 acres, its archery and axe throwing range, stories around the flickering campfire, and the nearby Smoky Mountain National Park. Don't miss this beautiful opportunity any Sunday in April at 1 o'clock at Ancient Lore Village, just 15 minutes south of downtown Knoxville, Tennessee. Enjoy life with wonderful people and fulfill a fairy tale fantasy. There are only 30 tickets available each Sunday, so reserve your tickets now for the Will You Grow, Love, and Adventure Brunch series any Sunday in April at Knoxville's luxury venue. Click the description box below, then click the link titled Brunch Series in Tennessee. Join us at Ancient Lore Village any Sunday in April at 1 o'clock. You must have tickets to attend, so click the link in the description box for April Brunch Series in Tennessee to get your tickets, and we'll see you there. For more information about programs offered by Will You, mentoring with Angelique, and to watch video success stories from clients, explore willyougrow.com. If you or your company are interested in inspiring our mutual audience by sponsoring this or another of our programs, let's talk about it. Boost viewer confidence and trust in your company. Call 1-833-WILL-YOU, then press extension number 6. Make sure to click the subscribe button to get reminders before upcoming shows.